So can you see the blank page?
Yes, sir.
Page দেখা যাচ্ছে?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, now Suman, please tell me that what problem you are addressing.
হ্যাঁ স্যার, ওই স্যার যেটা দিয়েছিলেন, প্রুভ দ্যাট ইফ জি ইজ এ গ্রুপ ফাইনাইট অফ প্রোডাক্ট টু ইট হ্যাভ অড নাম্বার অফ এলিমেন্ট অফ প্রোডাক্ট টু, এটা স্যার প্রুভ করতে দিয়েছিলেন। এটা
না না, এরকম কিন্তু কোনো অঙ্ক আমি প্রমাণ করতে দিইনি।
স্যার দিয়েছিলেন
আমি
স্যার।
দিয়েছিলাম একটা গ্রুপ যদি ইভেন অর্ডারের হয় সেখানে একটা অর্ডার টুর এলিমেন্ট থাকবে, আমি সেটা প্রমাণ করতে।
Even order.
If the group is of even order, then there exists an element of order 2. এটা আমি প্রমাণ করতে দিয়েছিলাম। সেটা কি তুমি করেছো?
স্যার ওইটা কি স্যার এইভাবে করলে হবে, মানে a is equal to a inverse a square is equal to e mod a is equal to 2?
না না, এটা হচ্ছে যে the problem was like that if G is a finite group of even order means the number of elements are even, then prove that there exists A belongs to G such that order of A is 2. That was the problem. The problem is very simple since the group is of even order. So if you just delete the identity, then the number of non-identity elements are odd here. Number of non-identity elements are odd. Now suppose there is no element of order 2, and now for any element of order 2, since A square equal to identity, so you get that A equal to A inverse. So if you do not have any element of order 2, then you can pair the elements. Suppose you take an element A1 and its inverse, they are distinct, and you take another element A2 in its inverse, they are distinct. So in this way you can pair the elements, say AR inverse, and all these elements are distinct, but you can make them considering even number of elements. So you cannot pair odd number of elements like this. So certainly you will get an element A which is equal to A inverse. That is the simple proof of it. The group is of even order. So if you take all the set of elements which are not identity, then the set is odd. Then if there is no such element whose order is 2, then you just pair A with A inverse, B with B inverse, C with C inverse. So in this way, there are only even number of elements. So ultimately, you will get some element which is equal to its inverse. So always you will have some element that is of order 2. And since this element is not equal to identity, so an A equal to A inverse, so A square equal to E, and A to the power 1, that is A is not equal to E. And so you have that order of A is equal to 2. That is the problem. Okay, then we start today's discussion. Today we will study a particular class of groups that is called cyclic groups. But before that, I want to mention another structure. As we have defined Zn in previous class, that you can remember, it is the collection of all equivalence classes, n equivalence classes 0 to n minus 1. And this is a group under addition where you have that calculation of addition is the modulo n. Now from this group, I am giving you another problem that show that class A belongs to Zn is multiplicatively invertible. Multiplicatively invertible means there exists some class B belongs to Zn such that A bar into B bar is 1 bar. If and only if GCD of N and A are relatively prime. So that we will do as a problem in general. I can show you one example so that you can understand this easily. Suppose you have Z8, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are these 8 elements are there. Now, if we take some elements, say 2, so you see that 2, then you get that 2 is not multiplicatively invertible because 2 into 1 is 2, 2 into 3 is 6, and 2 into 4 is 8, that is 0. 2 into 5 is 10, that is 3. 2 into 6 is 12, that is 4. 2 into 7 is 14, that is 6. So there is no such element so that you can get 1. But if you get 3, which is relatively prime to 8, then you see that you will get what will be the inverse of here 3. 3 4s are 12. 12 is 4. 3 5s are 15. Now 15 is okay. 3 is inverse of itself. 3 into 3, that is class 9, and class 9 is equal to class 1. Similarly, you get 5. Then you see that 5 is also inverse of itself here, because 5 into 5 is 25, and that is modulo 8 is 1. And similarly, 7 into 7, that is 49, and that is also modulo 1. So in this case, all the same elements are inverse. So let us take some other. Say you take 10, then so up to 9 is there. So if you take any element which is relatively prime to 10, so you see that 3 into 7 here is 21, and that is equal to class 1 modulo 10. But if you take, similarly, if you take any element which is not relatively prime to n, then you cannot get this one. However, if we collect, so all the elements which are multiplicatively invertible in Zn, they are called units of Zn. And this is the set of element of class A belongs to Zn such that GCD of n and a equal to 1. For example, in Z8, for example, if we want to get what is U8, that means all the elements which are relatively prime to 8, that is the GCD is 1. So this is class 1, 3, 5, 7. So there are, you get 4 elements are relatively prime to 8. And you will see that this structure will form a group under multiplication. You will see that it will be closed under multiplication. You can easily see that if GCD of A with n is 1 and GCD of B of n with 1 is 1, then GCD of AB with n, that is also equal to 1. That is very obvious because there is no common element other than 1 between A and B to n. So there is no common element of AB and n also. So the group is closed under multiplication, and here you see that 3 into 5, and that is 15. 15 is modulo modulo 7. 15 is 7 modulo 8, and 3 into 7, you have 21. 21 is 5 modulo 8, and similarly you have 3 square. And as we have seen that squares of every element here is equal to 1. So you see the group is closed under multiplication. Oh, 5 into 7. 5 into 7 is 35, and 35, if you multiply by, I take the modulo 8, so it is 3. So you see that the group set is closed under multiplication, and every element has inverse. In fact, every element is its own inverse here. And naturally, the multiplication is associative and identity is 1. So you get it is a group under multiplication, and this is called the group of units of Zn. Units means which are multiplicatively invertible. So we have that this is the group of units of Zn, that is UN is called this. Oh, I forgot to, it's the recording. Repeatedly, I am saying that either you try to make an entry before 7:05, otherwise you don't try to make an entry. And I deny this one. So it will be problematic for me to go back, since I went back to for recording, and that is why I just admitted 3 or 4 persons, but I will not admit after 7:05.
স্যার ওই U8 এর ক্ষেত্রে স্যার 7:1 সমান 1 হতো না?
কি?
ওই যে স্যার 7:1 সমান 1 এরকম হতো না?
7:1. What is is2?
না, is2 হলো 7.1.
The 7.1 is 7.
নো স্যার, এখানে যে করেছেন 3.5 = 15.
আরে the 7.1 is 7. তুমি কি হাদাবোদা নাকি? 7.1 is 7. এটা লেখার কি আছে? One is the identity. Identity means if you multiply any element with identity, so you will get the same element. It is obvious. Nothing to write it here. As I told you that what is the identity, that means that any element x into 1 is x. 7 কে 1 দিয়ে গুণ করলে কত হয় সেটা কি তুমি জানো না?
জানি স্যার।
However, so there are some problems regarding UN, and so that is why I made this discussion over UN. And so, for example, another example that we have taken for 10. So let us see that what are in U10. So all the elements which are relatively prime to 10. So 1, 3, 7, 9. These 4 elements are relatively prime to 10, and so they will form U10, and you can also verify that this is a group. The one important thing is that how many members are there. So this is basically the number of elements less than n, and this, or you can say relatively prime to n, and relatively prime to n. So this is denoted by a function phi n that is called the Euler's phi function, or it is another name, the totient function. This function has very importance in number theory, very much importance in number theory. This is the number of elements of n, and which are relatively prime to n. So number of element of U10 is this phi n. So, and there is a formula for calculating phi n. Phi n has the formula of calculating this one. Pk, where the prime factorization representation of n is this. So if n is p1 to the power r1, p2 to the power r2, pk to the power rk, where all pi are prime, and then the formula for n phi n is this. So using this formula, you can calculate that this is 10 into, 10 is 2 into 5. So 10 is 2 into 5. So this is 10 into 1 minus half and 1 minus 1/5. So this is 10 into half into 4 by 5. And so you have that this is actually 4. So as you have seen that U10 has these 4 elements. Similarly, you see that U8 has 4 elements, and you can easily calculate that only prime factor of 8 is 2, so it is 8 into 1 minus half. That is 8 into half, and that is 4. And U8 has also the 4 elements. So the number of elements of the group UN is phi n, and that is calculated by this formula. So, and in any book of number theory, you can get actually this proof of the formula, but this is very important in number theory. So the problems regarding UN, then you can now try, that I did not mention in the last class, and that is why I'm mentioning here. However, so for today's discussion, we will study now a special kind of groups, that those are called cyclic groups. These cyclic groups, by definition, that a group is cyclic if the group is power of a fixed element. Suppose there exists an element A such that for some A belongs to G, and then we say that the group is cyclic. That is, all the elements of the group is the power of an integer power of a fixed element. And this is the whole set of integer. And a to the power 0, by default, we consider it is identity. And then you can have a power 1, a power 2, a power 3, and so on. Similarly, a power minus 1, a power minus 2, a power minus 3, and so on. So actually, it is the smallest group containing A. Suppose I am just giving you a symbol A, and I am asking you that please form a group. Then what you will do, since the group is closed under multiplication, so you will get all these powers, A square, A cube, in general A n. And since all the elements have inverses, and therefore you are generating A minus 1, A minus 2, in this way A minus n, and so on. So all these elements that you have to incorporate, if I say that generate a group by A. So this is called the group generated by A. Generated by A. And this element A is called the generator of the group. A is called the generator of the group. Now, for example, now you can easily get example of
Sir, the nth root of unity is a cyclic group under multiplication.
Yes. That I am now just going to say. So
Okay, sir.
already,
Sir, can you please show the slide so that I can take the screenshot? Means the cyclic group definition. Just a bit of yes, sir.
you don't have to worry. All these in our book. I've given to you all these in our book.
Okay, sir.
This is, you see the definition of cyclic group. A group is called a cyclic group if there exists an element A belongs to G such that G is equals to this subgroup generated by A, that is A to the power n belongs to Z. Such an element A is called the generator of the cyclic group.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so now you see that you can remember in our previous class, if we consider the set of all roots of x cube equal to 1 and the roots were 1 omega omega cube, and this is a cyclic group, you see that all elements are power of omega. In fact, 1 is omega cube, that is equal to omega cube is equal to 1. Similarly, if we consider x4 equal to 1, then you see all are powers of I square, I cube, and I4 is equal to 1. And so you get that in this way, all these are cyclic group. And in the general formula, as you told me just now, that is true that if alpha is a primitive root, and then we have that all the n roots of this equation is of the form this, where alpha equal to cos 2 pi by cos 2 pi by n plus I sine 2 pi by n. So you see that these are cyclic groups. And why it is named as cyclic? Because if you rounding about say 1 omega and omega square, and if you multiply this by omega to 1, you get omega. Similarly, if you multiply omega with omega, and then you get omega square. And if you multiply again omega, then you return back to 1 omega cube equal to 1. So in this way, these are elements under the multiplication of omega, just rounding about the cycle. But this is only the idea of the coining the terminology that it is a cyclic group. But the definition is not that elements are rounding about. Because in the finite cyclic group, obviously elements will be roundabout, but there are infinite cyclic groups also. In the definition, which is nascent, but probably you did not notice or not, this group may be infinite also. That is, all these elements that I have written here may be all of them distinct, and they will form an infinite cyclic group. That if all n are distinct, every integer power of a, if all of them are distinct, and they will form the infinite cyclic group, right? And okay, I will come back to the studying the infinite cyclic group, but first we finish that studying finite cyclic groups. But in the finite cyclic groups, we will see that always it will be rounding about. Now, in general, let us see that what is the nature of the finite cyclic group, what is the structure of the finite cyclic group. So suppose we take that, suppose G is a finite cyclic group. The definition is that it is power of some fixed element. So suppose it is generated by A, that is, suppose it is a to the power n and n belongs to Z. Here, not all the elements are distinct. Why? Because it is a finite group. So if I start with a square, a cube, a4, and if I going on, then that cannot run indefinitely because the group is finite. So always we will get two integer r and s such that a are equal to as. Suppose r is greater than s. So suppose r is greater than s and greater than 0. And so you get that obviously a to the power r minus s equal to identity. If you multiply by both sides a to the power minus s, so this side becomes identity, and so you get that a to the power r minus s is identity. And r minus s is positive because r is greater than s. So you have that there is some positive integer power of a that brings to identity. So you consider that suppose let m be the least positive integer such that a to the power m equal to identity. But then by definition, the order of a equal to m. And whenever you get that order of a equal to m, you see that all the elements a square, a cube, up to a to the power m minus 1, all of them will be distinct. Why? Because if we take here two elements, suppose ai equal to aj, and if suppose I is greater than j, and then you have that again in the same procedure, you get that a to the power I minus j is identity, but I minus j is positive. And then you see that, and both I and j here, all I, j, they are lying between 0 to m minus 1. So their difference is also less than m. But that will contradict that this property that m is the least positive integer such that a to the power m equal to identity. So it cannot happen unless that I equal to j. That is the only solution, that I minus j must be equal to 0. That is a to the power 0 and is identity. And so you have all the elements of this S are distinct, right? So, and all these elements are the elements of G, because A belongs to G and G is closed under multiplication. So all the powers of A are elements of G. So this set S, which contains M elements, it is a subset of G. Now we will show actually S equal to G. How? Then we get that we have that all now a to the power m equal to identity. Now you take any element from the group. The group is generated by A. That means X is some a to the power k, or some k belongs to the integer set. Now if we make the division algorithm, then k you can write mq plus say r, and then where r is the remainder, so either r equal to 0 or r is lying between 0 to m, because you are dividing by m. So the remainder is less than m, or the remainder is 0. But here you see that then what is a to the power k? A to the power k is a to the power mq plus r. Now that you can split that a to the power m whole to the power q into a to the power r. And so a to the power m is identity, so this is identity, and a to the power r, so you get a to the power r. But r is lying between 0 to m, and so it is within 0 to m minus 1, and so you have that a to the power r obviously belongs to s, and a to the power k is equal to a to the power r, and so it belongs to x, and a to the power k is equal to x. So you have started with x belongs to G, and you are ending with x belongs to S, and that shows you that G is a subset of S. Previously we got that S is a subset of G because of the closure property. Now you get that G is a subset of S, and therefore you have that G actually equal to S. So the number of element of G, that is equal to the number of element of S, that is m, and that is order of A. So you have that there exists an element of G whose order is same as that of G, that is the number of element of G. So in any finite cyclic group, this happened. I am going back to the result. See that we have started with a finite cyclic group. By definition, it is generated by A. Generated by A means all the elements are integer powers of A. And then we see that since it is finite, so this sequence cannot go indefinitely the powers of A. So two different powers of A must be equal. And then we get that there is some positive power of A that is equal to identity. By this, we are taking the least positive power of A, which brings to its identity. But by definition, this is the order of A. Then we generate the set S from a to the power 0 to a to the power m minus 1. And we notice that any two elements of this set are not equal. They are all distinct. So this set has m number of elements. And then we have taken any arbitrary element of the group. And then it is a power of A. And by division algorithm, we got that it is equal to some power of A, which is lying, that power is lying between 0 to m minus 1. and that means the element belongs to S, and so you get the whole group belongs to this set and actually equal to the set, and so the order of G is equal to order of A. Now the converse is also true, that if you have that in some group, suppose G is a finite group, and suppose G has an element A such that number of elements of G is equal to order of the element, then the group becomes finite cyclic group. Why? Because suppose you take the order of the A is M, then exactly in the same process you have that all the elements E, A square up to A to the power M minus 1, they all of them are distinct, just the proof is same as above. And since all the elements are distinct and the number of element of this set is M, and that is the same as the number of element of the group, so the group is actually this set EA A to the power M minus 1. So by definition you see the group is cyclic, that every element is power of some element of A, and that is the first theorem here regarding cyclic group, this one, that a finite group is a cyclic group if and only if there exists an element A belongs to G such that order of A equal to order of G. That is the number of element of the G. So this is the first result in the finite cyclic group. Now before I proceed further, you can ask if you have any doubt. দেখো এই প্রমাণটা কোথায় বুঝার অসুবিধা হলে তাহলে বলো, আমি আবার বলতে পারি। আমি আবার আস্তে আস্তে দেখাচ্ছি প্রথম থেকে। এখানে আমরা এই এর পজিটিভ পাওয়ার আইডেন্টিটি দেখালাম, দেন উই হ্যাভ টেকেন the least positive power, that is the order of the element. Then we generate this set with the powers of A up to A to the power M minus 1, and this set is a distinct element set, and then we take any element of the group, and by division algorithm we have shown that since A to the power M equal to E, it is repeating. So this, by this repetition we get that ultimately it is equal to some power of A, which their power is lying between 0 to M minus 1. That is, this is basically the set, the whole group. So number of element of the group is order of A. On the other hand, if you have number of element is order of the A for some A, then ultimately you get that G is equal to this. So G is a cyclic group. So this is the first property of finite cyclic group, that you have an element whose order is equal to the order of the element of the group. Now we go for the generators of the finite cyclic group. Now, let me. So now the finite cyclic group structure is very much clear to us, that it is of the form E A square like this, say to the power n minus 1, if the number of element is n, and this is A is called the generator, and here order of A equal to n. Now let us see some example. For example, in say Z8. Again, if we go on Z8, and then you have that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we start with 3, you see that by adding 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, sorry, 3 plus 3 is 6, 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9, 9 means 1 here. And then 4 times 3 is equal to 12, 12 means 4. And 5 times 3 is 15, 15 means here 7. 6 times 3 is 18, 18 means here 2. So, and 7 times 3 is 21. 21 is here 5. And 8 times 3 is 24. And 24 is 0. So you see that all the elements 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So naturally 3 is also a generator here. 1 is the obvious generator here because all the elements are just repeated application of 1 under addition. But 3 is also a generator. So can you guess that who are the generators and who are not? For example, here if we start with 2, you see that 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 2 plus 2, that is 3 times 2 is 6. And 4 times 2 is 0. So it will only generate 0, 2, 4, 6. It will not generate 1, 3, 5, 7. So can you guess that who will be the generator of Z8 and who will be not?
The prime number.
So the numbers that are co-prime to
Right, right,
8.
right. So can we prove now? So prove that an element a to the power r is a generator of the finite cyclic group G of order n is if and only GCD of n and r is equal to 1. The group is all the elements E a square up to a n minus 1. Now among them, AR is the generator, is one of the generator, if and only GCD of n are equal to 1. দাও তো এটা প্রুফ করতে পারো কিনা? If and only মানে দুটো দিক দেখাতে হবে. First you consider that AR is a generator and then you prove that it is relatively prime to n, and conversely you assume that it is relatively prime to n and prove that AR is a generator. I'm giving you one hint that when an element will generate the whole group, if AR is the generator of the whole group, then AR must generate the generator of the group. That is, if your generator is A, so AR must generate A. That is, you have to, AR is a generator. That means AR to the power some K that is equal to A for some integer K. In fact, it is finite. You can say that for some natural number K also. So AR to the power something will be A. এটাকে use করে. You try to use this to get the result.
Sir,
হুম,
I'll say.
হ্যাঁ বলো।
So, sir, a power rk must be equals to a. So, if we no, so wait. Yes, sir. So a power rk must be equal to a. So take a inverse both sides.
হুম,
So a power rk minus 1 must be equal to e,
হুম,
which is equals to a power n, because n is the uh, order of the generator of g, which is a. So now this implies n must divide rk minus 1,
হুম, very good.
which proves that n and k must be coprime. We can
How?
write rk minus 1 equals to n cube. So it means rk equals to 1 modulo n.
Rk minus 1 is suppose n into something, say q.
So it means rk equals to 1 modulo n. So r.
হ্যাঁ, Rk is 1 modulo n, then
Sir, if r and n is not coprime, then let's assume that n and r are not coprime. Then n must divide rk. N must divide r. Let's assume that n
No.
divides r. So if n divides r, and also it is shown that n divides rk minus 1, it would imply n divides 1. So it would imply n equals to 1. So it means r and n are
no, n is not relatively prime to r. That doesn't mean n divides Rk. That means that r and n has some common factor.
So we have to prove r and n are coprime.
Right.
Yeah, so rk minus 1 equals to nq. We can write this in modular form, that rk equals to 1 modulo n. Now, so wait.
You are almost done. That just you consider, as you told, that just if you consider suppose GCD of n and r equal to d.
I got it. This equation has solution only when r and n are coprime.
And that you have to prove. That proof is this: if you write that rk minus nq equal to 1, and then you have that d divides and d divides n. D divides r means d divides rk. D divides n means d divides nq. So d divides rk minus nq. Sorry. So d divides rk minus nq. But rk minus nq is 1, and that is why the
equals to 1.
Do the others understand here? We got that. You can remember a result that we stated for the order of some element, that or if order of a is n and a to the power m equal to identity, and then this will imply that n divides m. That we are actually using here. So we get that a to the power rk minus 1 is identity. So we get that n divides rk minus 1. So rk minus 1 is n into something. So rk minus nq is equal to, so rk minus nq equal to 1. So if there is a common divisor of n and r, so that must also divide rk minus nq. But rk minus nq is 1. So d divides 1 means is 1, because d is a positive integer. So you see that this part is proved in this way, that if there is a generator, and then this GCD of r and k must be equal to 1. Now we have to prove the opposite one, that suppose we assume that GCD of n are equal to 1, then prove that G is generated by AR. G is generated by A here, and G is the finite cyclic group, EA square up to n minus 1. Now you have to show that G is also generated by AR. That is the same thing, that you have to just show that AR to the power something is equal to A. সেটা দেখাতে পারলেই হবে. if you can show that there exists K such that AR to the power K equal to A, that is sufficient. By using GCD is 1, you have to find some power K of R such that AR to the power K is equal to A. And here you know that A to the power N equal to identity. So from A to the power N equal to identity and GCD of N are equal to 1, you have to find some power of R, multiple of R, such that A to the power RK is A. Here you have to use a result. I don't know whether you know or not, that if GCD of NR is 1, then there exist two integer x and y such that 1 is equal to nx plus ry. That is true for any GCD D. If GCD is D, then you can express GCD as nx plus ry, where x and y are two integers. It is a
Without slide.
of number theory. So I don't know, do you know or not? However, you can use it here. You have to use it here. So now use this to prove this one. দেখো এবার তো পারবে, এটা ইউজ করলে হয়ে যাবে।
Yes, sir. Done.
বলো।
Sir, we can write nx equals to 1 minus ry. A power n equals to e. So a power nx is also equals to e power x, which is equals to e. A power nx equals to a power 1 minus ry, which is equals to e. So taking inverse of a power ry, we can.
This is e.
So a power 1 into a power minus ry equals to e. Now take a power ry both sides. So a power ry.
Good. So you can make it directly also. So a equal to a to the power 1, and 1 is nx plus ry. And so you have that this is per x into a to the power whole to the power y. And a to the power n is identity. So this part is identity. So this is a to the power r to the power y. This is r to the power. So a is generated by power of a. And whenever you get that a is generated by power of a, then any power of a, that is, if you take any a to the power l, and then that is, this is power yl. So every element is generated by a. So the whole group is generated by. So that gives us this result that for any finite cyclic group, generators are only the powers which are relatively prime to n. So number of generators is again phi n, as I told you, like the order of un. So number of generators is again phi n for any n, where the order of the cyclic group is n. So this is the second property. Now, before going to the other properties, I am So I am now going for the something for infinite cyclic groups. So what are infinite cyclic groups? Here also the definition is same, that G equal to a to the power n and n belongs to Z. Now only thing here, the group is infinite, will prove that there is no positive or negative integer n, that is there is no non-zero n such that a to the power n equal to identity. Because whenever you get that a to the power n equal to identity, and then immediately suppose you have a n that is equal to negative, then you have that a to the power minus n is also equal to identity. So you have that a to the power some positive integer is equal to identity. A to the power some positive integer equals to identity, and then you take the smallest one and the order of a will be equal to m, and exactly as in the previous way you can prove that G is a finite set of EA square up to a to the power m minus 1. But that is the contradiction, because G is infinite, so G cannot be finite. So it is not possible for any non-zero element n that a to the power n equal to identity. Only we have a to the power 0 equal to identity, otherwise these are not equal to identity. Also, we just notice that the same thing, that if we have that a to the power m equal to a to the power n, where m is not equal to n, that is also not possible here. But because then if m is greater than n, then again we get that a to the power m minus n equal to identity. And since m is greater than n, so m minus n is non-zero, and then that is forbidden, right? And so every integer power of a are distinct. So the whole set that is in the definition, they are all distinct elements. So you get a complete set of powers of a. No two elements are equal here. So you will get that identity equal to the power 0 and a square, a cube. So all the positive integer powers of a and all the negative integer powers of a. So all elements are here. And you can have just a replica of the group Z, though Z is under addition, but you see that this is 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, and here -1, -2, -3, and so on. So this Z plus, this is an example of an infinite cyclic group. In fact, later on we will see that actually group structurally every infinite cyclic group is same as that of Z plus. That also here we are seeing that if you see that you multiply this a square into a cube and you get a 5, and here you just add 2 and 3 and you get 5. Similarly, so there is no structural difference that when you are operating two elements, if you map here, then you get a 1-to-1 and onto map, that is 1-to-1 correspondence between the elements of here and elements of here. However, so this is the structure of infinite cyclic group, that it will take all integers powers and all are distinct here. No two elements are same here. Now, what are the generators here? If you have an infinite cyclic group, then what are the generators here? Suppose it is generated by A, then can there be any other generator? That is the question. Now, if there is a generator, naturally this suppose a to the power r is generated. Exactly in the same way, then you will get some power is A, but some power is A means like before rk minus 1 is equal to identity. And as we have just proved that no non-zero power makes identity, only the zero power makes the identity. So this is 0. And so you get that Rk equal to 1. Now you see that R is an integer. So if R is an integer and Rk equal to 1, so only the two options, 1 into 1 is 1 and -1 into -1 is 1. There are no other integers with which you are multiplying it with an integer and leaving you the product 1. Only the two cases, 1 and -1. So R is either 1 or -1. So as A is one of the generator, so only the other generator is A inverse. A inverse is the other generator, and you see here also all the powers of A inverse, and these are basically all the negative powers of A inverse, and this is the 0th power of A inverse. So in the infinite cyclic group, there are exactly two generators, A and A inverse, and no other generator of this set, and the set is infinite and no two elements are distinct here. It will take all the integer powers of A. So this is the structure of infinite cyclic group. And this is an example of infinite cyclic group. And every infinite cyclic group actually of this form. Now we prove another result. Before that, I am just showing you that this result in the book. We first proved that the first result we proved that finite cyclic group, if and only if there exists an element whose order is equal to the number of elements of the group. So for every finite cyclic group, you have that order of A is this group generated by A, or we say this cyclic subgroup generated by A. And we have discussed about Z8, 0, U8 and all these things. And then you see that we have this result that A to the power K is a generator if and only GCD is 1. Now in this book, there is a shorter proof by using the formula. I didn't use the formula. If you use the formula, the proof is very immediate because if you have that AK is the generator, then you know its order is equal to N, just to prove. So and by the formula, its order is this. So if this is equal to N equal to N by GCD of NK, that means GCD of N and K is 1. On the other hand, if GCD of N and K is 1, then order of AK is equal to N. And so by that theorem, that AK is a generator. So it is a one-line proof if you use this formula. However, you can prove without this formula also, as I told you. So these are some examples here. And now we come to this theorem that is a very fantastic theorem that every subgroup of a cyclic group is cyclic. So this is our theorem. The statement is that every subgroup of a cyclic group is cyclic. So suppose we consider that, and you notice that here it is not written that whether it is finite or infinite. The group may be finite, may be infinite also. And for both of them, the result is true. So suppose we consider that G is a cyclic group. And suppose it is generated by A. That means it is powers of A, integer powers of A. I don't know it is finite or infinite. If it is finite, then it will be end at some place. If it is infinite, it will never end. Now we take a subgroup of G. We wish to show that it is also cyclic. Now first we remove the trivial case that you know that if H is equal to only the singleton identity, then it is generated by identity because E square is E, and so it is generated by E only, and therefore it is cyclic. So after removing this trivial case, so we assume that suppose H is not the singleton identity. That is, there are non-identity elements in H. But this implies that there exists some A in H which is not equal to identity. So since there exists, sorry, I am taking A here, rather I should take some B, because we have assumed the group is generated by A. So suppose there is some B belongs to H, the group is generated by A. Now you see that every element of the group is power of A. So B is some power of A, say A to the power R. But the H is a subgroup. So since it is a subgroup, if B is here, so B inverse, that is A to the power minus R, that is also in H. I should write this first and B inverse second. So this implies that A to the power minus R, that is B inverse, belongs to H, because H is a subgroup, every element inverse is in H. But then you see that A to the power R belongs to H and A to the power minus R belongs to H. So again, these things that A to the power some positive integer, and R is here non-zero because B is not identity. So R is here non-zero. R is zero, then B also identity. So A to the power mod R belongs to H, and H, this implies H contains a positive integer power of A. Now, whenever we get a positive integer power of A, then as our standard strategy, we assume that let N0 be the least positive integer such that A to the power N0 belongs to H. Okay. So H is non-identity, so there is some non-identity element. So, but every element is power of A. So if A to the power R belongs to H, A to the power minus R also belongs to H. So either R or minus R is positive. So H contains a positive integer power of A. So let N0 be the least positive integer such that A to the power N0 belongs to H. And we show H is actually equal to A to the generated by A to the power N0. H is a cyclic, and that is generated by A to the power N0. That we will show. Now, since A to the power N0, the element belongs to H, obviously all the powers of A to the power N0, that is the cyclic subgroup generated by A to the power N0, that converts. H is a subset of this, and then we will be done. So let us take any element of H. Similarly, since H is generated by H is an subset of G, and every element of G is generated by A, so X equal to some power of A. Suppose X equal to A to the power K for some K belongs to Z, and then again we will apply the division algorithm, and we have that K equal to N0 cube plus R, and R is the remainder, so either R equal to 0 or R is lying between 0 to N0. Now what happens, you see that if we raise to the power A, so A to the power K equal to A to the power N0 Q plus R, that you can write A to the power N0 whole to the power Q into A to the power R. Then what is A to the power R? So A to the power R, that is equal to A to the power K into A to the power N0 whole to the power minus Q. Okay. Now A to the power K is X, and A to the power, this is a power of A to the power N0. Now already we have started with X belongs to H. and we have that a to the power n naught belongs to H. So every power of a to the power n naught is also belongs to H, because H is closed under multiplication. H is a subgroup. So this is belonging to H, this is belonging to H, and so their product is also belonging to H. But then you see that a to the power R is belonging to H. Now what are the options of R? Either R is 0 or R is lying between 0 and n naught. Now what is n naught? N naught is the least positive integer such that a to the power n naught belongs to H. So there cannot be any positive integer less than n naught such that a to the power R belongs to H. So R must be equal to 0, and so you have that k equals to n naught q. K equals to n naught q. And so you have that k equals to n naught q, and you have that x that is equal to a to the power k is equal to a to the power n naught q, and that is belong to the subgroup generated by n naught. But we have started with x belongs to H, and we are ending with here x belongs to this. That means that H is a subset of a to the power cyclic subgroup generated by a to the power n. And we have previously shown that this is subset of H, and now we have shown that H is subset of this, and therefore you have that H equal to a to the power n, and therefore H is cyclic. So this is the full proof. You may ask if you have any doubt. I am going at the beginning here. Step by step you follow that. We first take the trivial case, which is generated by E. Then we take that suppose there are non-identity element. So that element is a non-zero power of A. So either, and because of subgroup, if a to the power R is there, then a to the power minus R is there. So you have a positive integer power of A, and then you take the least of them, a to the power n naught, and then you notice that, so this is belongs to H, means the whole cyclic subgroup generated by n naught subset of H. Now you take any element of H, and by division algorithm you get this one, and then by raising the power to this one, you get that a to the power R is actually belonging to H. But this cannot happen when this happens, because n naught is the least positive integer such that a to the power n naught belongs to H. So no positive integer less than n naught can a to the power R belongs to H. So R must be equal to 0. So k equal to n naught q, and so you have that x equal to a to the power n naught to the power something, and so H is subset of this, and so H is actually equal to this. So every subgroup of a cyclic group is cyclic. Do you have any question? বুঝতে পেরেছো এটা? Okay. Now, interestingly,
Yes, sir.
that you get that every subgroup of a cyclic group is cyclic. So if we have a cyclic group, so every subgroup is also generated by some element, and when a G is generated by some element. Not only that, that element that here we took it that a to the power n naught or something like that, that a to the power n naught. Now, what is the number of element of this subgroup? Number of element of the subgroup is obviously number of element of this cyclic subgroup generated by n naught is same as order of a n naught, a to the power n naught, as we have proved in the first theorem that In a cyclic group, order of the generator is equal to the number of elements of the group. So it is nothing but the order of a to the power n naught. So you see that what is the order of a to the power n naught? If we go for the formula, you see that if n is the order of a, then the formula is n by GCD of n and n naught. Sorry. So it is GCD of n and n naught, right? So you see that suppose order of n naught is m, that is suppose the number of element of h is m, then you see that n equal to m into this GCD of n and n naught. So in other words, you have that m divides n. But m was the order of the subgroup and n was the order of the group. And so you have that order of this subgroup divides the order of the group. So in this, so in this group, whatever you get this subgroup, so its number of element is a factor of the number of element here. That is, if G has suppose 12 elements, so its subgroup can have 1 element, 3 element, 4 element, 2 elements, or 6 element, or even 12 element when it is equal to G. But it cannot have any 5 elements, 7 element, some other 8 elements or something like that, which are not a factor of the group. So we will see that here, that here the order of the subgroup becomes a divisor or factor of the order of the group. Next, we will see that actually of that order m, there exists only one subgroup. In a cyclic subgroup, for a fixed order, there exists only one subgroup. That is, we prove, this is the most interesting theorem in finite cyclic group, that let G be a finite cyclic group of order n, and suppose m divides n, then G has a unique means one and only one, unique subgroup of order m. Not only for every divisor there exists a subgroup, there exists only one subgroup. That is the theorem. So suppose m divides n, and then you have that n equal to m into, say, some r. Now G is a finite cyclic group, so suppose G is generated by A, and then you know that order of A is equal to n. So obviously order of A to the power r, that is equal to n by GCD of r and n. Now what is n? N is mr. So you have that r by GCD of r and mr. And GCD of r by and mr means basically this r, because r is a factor of mr. So the GCD of is r, and that is equal to m. So you see that order of A to the power r is m. So if we consider that let H is equal to the subgroup generated by A to the power r, and then we have that order of H is order of A to the power r, and that is equal to m. So for every divisor m, you are getting a subgroup of order m. দেখো আমরা m নিচ্ছি, m is a factor of n, and then we have that, since it is a factor, so n equal to m into something r. So we are just picking up the element A to the power r, and we have shown that order of A to the power r is m, and therefore the cyclic subgroup generated by A to the power r is of order m. Now we will show that there exists only one such subgroup. only one such subgroup. So suppose you consider, suppose K is a subgroup of order M. Now we will show that K is equal to H, right? So K is a subgroup, as we have proved the subgroup of a cyclic group is cyclic. So K is also generated by some power of A, because every element of G is a power of A. So suppose K is generated by A to the power T. Now, so cardinality of K is equal to, again, order of A to the power T, right? So now order of A to the power T, and that is equal to M. So that is equal to M. So order of A to the power T is M, means that, so that means A to the power T whole to the power M equal to identity. That means A to the power Tm equal to identity. But what is the order of A? Order of A is N in the group, and so you get that N divides Tm. So N divides Tm, that means that Tm equal to, say, N into Q, right? Now you see that we got that N equal to Mr. So if we put it here, then we get that Tm equal to Mrq, and cancelling M, we get T equal to Rq. And so you have that A to the power T is A to the power Rq, that is A to the power R whole to the power Q. And that means this is belonging to H, because H is generated by A to the power R. So this is a power of, this is a power of A to the power R, means this is an element of the subgroup, because this is a subgroup. So you see that A to the power T is belonging to H, but K is generated by A to the power T. So the whole K becomes the subset of H, because all the elements of K are powers of A to the power T. So since A to the power T belongs to H, means whole K subset of H. Now you see that you have two subsets, H and K, having the same element M, and sorry, ulto. So if you have two sets, K and H, where K is a subset of H, but having the same element, number of element M, that means K equals to H is subset, but দুটো the M number of elements, তার মানে all the elements of K are actually all the elements of H, and so K becomes equal to H, and that proves the uniqueness of the subgroup. So let us revise the proof again. The theorem is that for every finite cyclic group of order n, and for every factor of n, we have that there exists a unique subgroup of order n. So we have that m is a factor, so n equal to m into some r. Then we get that order of A to the power R is actually M. So the subgroup generated by A to the power R is the one subgroup of order M. So it proves that G has a subgroup of order M. Now we put the unique part. So we take, suppose there is another subgroup of order M, but suppose this is generated by A to the power T, but then because of that order of K equal to order of that element, so A to the power Tm equal to identity, so we get that N is Tm, N divides Tm. So N into something is equal to Tm, and then we put that N equal to Mr, and then cancelling M, we get that T equal to Rq. And so we get that A to the power T is belonging to H. That means the whole set K is a subset of H. But A and H are of same number of elements, so they must be equal. And that proves the uniqueness. And that is the theorem you see, that let A be a G equal to A be a cyclic group of order n, and then if H is a subgroup of G, then cardinality of H divides cardinality of G. And if m is a positive integer such that m divides n, then there exists a unique subgroup of order m. So these are actually all the results of this chapter, cyclic groups. And then there are some worked out exercise. And I request you to go through the worked out exercise. This is asking generators of z to the power n that we already did here. And another interesting problem is that, though very simple, that rational number under addition is not cyclic. As you got that integers under addition is cyclic, but rational number under addition is not cyclic. This is very obvious because suppose it is generated by, say, some p by q, and then every rational is integer multiple of this because the operation is addition. So every rational is n into p by q for some n, but that is not true for, say, p by 2q, and that is not equal to this for any integer n, and that shows that this is not cyclic. So in this way, you can go through the exercises. Then actually it has shown that similarly r plus is not a cyclic, because if r plus would be cyclic, then its subgroup q plus would be cyclic, but it is not, that we prove. And it is not also finitely generated. You can prove finitely generated means that you cannot have finite number of set of elements which will generate the this group. So rational number is not also finitely generated. That you can prove. And then for the other example, you go through the exercises, and after that you try to solve the problems of the exercise. And I wish to request you that first go through the worked out exercises, and then you try to understand them and try to apply the similar kind of methodology for solving the problems in the exercises. Only in this way you can understand this very clearly, and that will be your own understanding. If I solve a problem for you, that problem will not be for yourself. You will forget that method. So what you did by yourself, and that will be for yourself. Obviously, if you do not could not do it, you can always communicate to me, and I will help you, giving you hints, and then you can solve the problem. বলে আমি তোমাদের প্রত্যেকের কাছেই বলছি যে তোমরা প্রবলেম সলভ করো। একমাত্র প্রবলেম সলিউশন করেই জিনিসটা শেখা যায়, না হলে সাবজেক্টটা শেখা যায় না। এখানে অনেক অঙ্ক করে দেওয়া আছে, সেই করে দেওয়া অঙ্কগুলো দেখো, সেই করে দেওয়া অঙ্কগুলো থেকে ভালো করে বুঝে যে থিওরিটা কিভাবে অ্যাপ্লাই হচ্ছে, করে তোমরা এখানে অ্যাপ্লাই করার চেষ্টা করো। আমি ইচ্ছে করে অঙ্কগুলো করে দিচ্ছি না, যাতে তোমরা নিজেরা পড়ে সেখান থেকে থিওরির অ্যাপ্লিকেশনটা ডিসকভার করার চেষ্টা করো। তার মাধ্যমেই তুমি জিনিসটা শিখতে পারবে। আমি সব চামচ দিয়ে খাইয়ে দিলে তার তুমি শিখতে পারবে না বাবা। সেই জন্যে আমি তোমাদের কাছে বলছি এইভাবে করো, তাতে তোমার ভালো হবে। আর আগের চ্যাপ্টারে অঙ্ক বা কিছু নিয়ে কারোর যদি কোনো ডাউট থাকে বা কোশ্চেন থাকে বলতে পারো। এই যে সাব গ্রুপ চ্যাপ্টারে যেগুলো ছিল বা তার আগে গ্রুপ চ্যাপ্টারে যেগুলো ছিল, সেটা নিয়ে কেউ যদি কিছু ডিসকাস করতে চাও করতে পারো। আমি আর এখনই
Sir, I have a question.
হ্যাঁ বলো।
Sir, if we have a group G, and if there is a 1-1 and onto mapping from G to Z, like the Z is a positive integer group under addition. So we know that under addition.
Yeah, under addition, it is the set of all integers, not positive.
Set of all integers under addition, not positive. Yeah. So if there exists a 1-1 mapping from that group to Z, then we know that Z has infinite number of subgroups. So can we say that G will also have infinite number of subgroups?
If you have 1-to-1 mapping, obviously that G has at least that number of elements there.
So like
it is obvious. It is nothing to do with. If you have
okay, so we do it right, like it is obvious.
If you have two sets, and if you have one-to-one map from this set to this, and if this set is infinite, then obviously this set is infinite. It has nothing to do with group.
Okay, sir.
Any other question you can ask me for the previous chapter's problem? এবং আমি তোমাদের বলি, দেখো বাবা, ফাঁকি দিলে তোমার কোনো লাভ হবে না। তুমি একটা জিনিস শেখা থেকে ডিপ্রাইভ থেকে যাবে, বঞ্চিত থেকে যাবে। তাতে তোমার পরে যখন তুমি রিসার্চ করবে বা কোনো হায়ার এডুকেশন করবে, তখন তুমি দেখবে তোমার অসুবিধা হবে, সিন্স ইউ ডু নট নো দিস। তখন তোমার এই যখনই এই ব্যাপারগুলো আসবে, এই স্ট্রাকচার, বিকজ দিস আর ভেরি বেসিক স্ট্রাকচার, এগুলো পৃথিবীতে তুমি যাই করো তোমার সেগুলো কাজে লাগবে। এই গ্রুপ, তারপরে গ্রুপের পরে আমরা রিং ফিল্ড পড়বো, এবং বিশেষ করে ফিল্ড থিওরি, মানে ফাইনাইট ফিল্ড থিওরি, সেটা নানা জায়গায়, এই ক্রিপ্টোগ্রাফিক বা যেখানে তোমার বিভিন্ন মেসেজ কোডিং করা হয়, বা বিভিন্ন এই যে একটা যেটাই ক্রিপ্টিক করা হয়, সেইখানে তো ভীষণভাবে ফাইনাইট ফিল্ড থিওরি লাগে। বা যে কোনো স্ট্রাকচার, অ্যাকচুয়ালি তুমি যখন যে কোনো একটা বড় কম্পিটিশন করছো, মেশিন তো কখনো ইনফাইনাইট সেট হিট করতে পারবে না, মেশিনকে ফাইনাইট দিতে হবে। সেখানে তখন লার্জ প্রাইম দিলে জেডপিটা ফিল্ড হয়ে যায় অ্যাকচুয়ালি। ওই ফিল্ডটা দিয়ে তখন আমরা ওখানে মাল্টিপ্লিকেশন, তার ইনভার্স বা তার এগুলো বার করি। সেই জন্যে এই গ্রুপ ফিল্ডস এগুলো কাজে লাগে। প্লাস তুমি যদি ম্যাট্রিক্স যখন অ্যারাইজ করবে, যে নন সিঙ্গুলার ম্যাট্রিক্স গুলো, যেগুলো আমি জিএলএনআর বলেছি, দে আর ফর্মিং গ্রুপস। আমি আরো অনেক গ্রুপগুলো নিয়ে আমরা আলোচনা করবো, দেখবে ইন দ্য নেক্সট সেকশন, পারমুটেশন গ্রুপ। আমি আজকে আর ঢুকছি না, কারণ ওটা শেষ করতে পারবো না আজকে ঢুকলে। ফলে
Sir, I had sent you a question, sir, in WhatsApp.
বলো।
Sir, the question was that, sir, A for all AB belongs to G comma star,
হুম,
A to the power 5 equals to identity element,
হুম,
and A star, B star, A inverse equals to B to the power n.
Hmm.
Then we have to prove that BM
হুম,
to the power 5 minus 1 equals to
হুম, হুম।
identity element.
হয়নি অঙ্কটা?
না স্যার।
আচ্ছা, আমি দেখাচ্ছি। হুম। ও, ওই পাতায় ছিল বোধহয় অঙ্কটা। এই অঙ্কটা তো, এই যে নাম্বার 18।
Yes,
স্যার এটা আমি করেছিলাম।
হ্যাঁ বলো। আচ্ছা, একজন তো করেছে, আমি তাহলে ব্ল্যাঙ্ক বোর্ডে ব্যাক করছি, ওইটা আবার লিখে নিচ্ছি।
স্যার বেটার হবে যদি আমি স্ক্রিন শেয়ার করতে পারি, নাহলে
করতে পারিস। এখন ব্যাপারটা
অনেক
হচ্ছে যে সবাই সেটা দেখতে পাবে না, তাহলে তোমাকে, হ্যাঁ তুমি প্রেজেন্ট করতে পারবে।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা আচ্ছা
ইয়েস,
ঠিক আছে
দাঁড়া, আমি তাহলে এটা স্টপ করে দিচ্ছি আমার প্রেজেন্টেশন। দাঁড়াও, আচ্ছা আমরা, হ্যাঁ স্টপ করছি, আর আমি, হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ তুমি প্রেজেন্ট করো।
স্যার এক সেকেন্ড, হ্যাঁ
করুন।
দিচ্ছি।
হুম, এসছে। আর একটু বড় করলে ভালো হবে, একটু বড় করা যাবে। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, এবার মোটামুটি অনেকটাই ভিজিবল হয়েছে। এগুলো কি এতগুলো স্টার লিখেছিস নাকি?
স্যার আমি নিজেই বলে দিচ্ছি, নাহলে বুঝতে পারবেন
আচ্ছা
না।
দাঁড়াও, আমার তাহলে আবার ব্ল্যাঙ্ক বোর্ডটা ব্যাক।
হ্যাঁ, আপনি এটা কোয়েশ্চেনটা দিন, আমি তাহলে বলছি জাস্ট।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ বলো।
স্যার কোয়েশ্চেনে দেবেন আছে
কোশ্চেনটা ছিল এটা
এস
5 ইকুয়াল টু আইডেন্টিটি, আর এটা কি ছিল যে এ বি এ
আর
ইনভার্স ইজ ইকুয়াল টু কি এটা ছিল বি টু দি পাওয়ার এম।
বি টু আর এম
বি টু দি পারে
প্রুফ করতে দিয়েছিল
টু প্রুভ বি
5
টু দি
minus
পাওয়ার
1
এম টু দি পাওয়ার 5 মাইনাস 1 ইকুয়ালস টু ই।
হুম
হ্যাঁ, তো আমার যেটা গিভেন আছে এ
হুম
বি এ ইনভার্স ইকুয়ালস টু বি টু আর এম,
হুম
ওইটাকে আমি লেফট সাইড থেকে এ টু পাওয়ার 4 আর রাইট সাইড থেকে এ টু পাওয়ার 4 মাল্টিপ্লাই করে দিচ্ছি, মানে
হুম
হ্যাঁ, তো ইকুয়ালস টু এ টু পাওয়ার 4 বি টু পাওয়ার এম, মানে ইকুয়েট করছি।
হুম
হ্যাঁ, এবার তাহলে এ টু পাওয়ার 5 বি এ টু পাওয়ার মাইনাস 5 আসছে।
এদিকে
হ্যাঁ, সেটা ই হয়ে যাচ্ছে, কেন ওই যে এ টু পাওয়ার 5 ই,
হুম
তো বি
বি হয়ে
ইকুয়ালস
যাচ্ছে,
টু,
বি হয়ে যাচ্ছে।
হ্যাঁ বি হয়ে যাচ্ছে। এবার আচ্ছা, আমি এ বি এন
হ্যাঁ তারপরে এটা কি
গিভেন
হবে?
ছিল না সেটা নাম্বার, হ্যাঁ তারপর এবার বি টু বার এম ইকুয়ালস টু এ,
অ্যাকচুয়ালি এটা কিছুই না, এই জিনিসটা তুমি বারবার ওই এ আর এ
হ্যাঁ
ইনভার্স
ওই
মাল্টিপ্লাই করতে হবে।
method we
হ্যাঁ
keep adding
ইউ হ্যাভ টু রিপিটেডলি মাল্টিপ্লাই। আর কেউ কিছু একটা বলছিলে বোধহয় নাকি?
yes sir the same thing which you are telling now if we keep on adding
Actually,
a and
you have to
Multiplying করলে,
repeatedly
হ্যাঁ
multiply by this, and
হ্যাঁ
then you are getting this. And main thing is that this is a bm a inverse is a b a inverse whole to the power m. That is the main thing. So actually, what you get a square b a minus 2, that is equal to b to the power m square, because this is b to the power m.
হ্যাঁ
So this is b to the power, so this is b to the power m square. And so if you continue like this,
কন্টিনিউ করতে
ultimately
করতে
you
আসছে,
get a5 b a minus 5 is equal to b to the power m to the power 5.
হ্যাঁ
But this is e, and so you get that b equal to b to
বি
the
ইকুয়ালস
power
টু
m.
বি টু আর এম 5, হ্যাঁ
So because a to the power 5 is e, and that proves that the result that b to the power m to the power 5 minus 1
হ্যাঁ
is right. So it is a typical strategy of attacking the powers of the conjugate. Main ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে এইটা, যে এইটার থেকে মানে এই যে a to the power a b to the power m a inverse means a b a inverse whole to the power m. আর এই বারবার এটাকে মাল্টিপ্লাই করে যাও, মাল্টিপ্লাই করে গেলে এটা পাওয়ারে চলে আসবে, পাওয়ারে চলে আসলে ওইটা এবার যতটা আইডেন্টিটি এখানে থাকবে সেই পাওয়ার অব্দি আমায় যেতে হবে, যাতে এগুলো এটা রিমুভড হয়ে যায় সাইডটা থেকে, তাহলে শুধু বি দিয়ে ইকুয়েশনটা পাওয়া।
ওকে স্যার।
আর কিছু কারোর জিজ্ঞাসা আছে?
স্যার
হ্যাঁ বল।
স্যার সাবগ্রুপ টপিকের নাম্বার 15টা একটু দেখিয়ে দেবেন?
হুম হুম 15 15 এ কি আছে? এইটা
স্যার ওই হ্যাঁ, ওই ইন এ সিমেট্রিক গ্রুপ শো দ্যাট এইচ ইকুয়ালস টু ই কমা 2 3
না,
স্যার
এটা
যে
আমরা
সামটা আছে।
সাইক্লিকে চলে আসলো, সরি এটা সাইক্লিকে চলে আসলো।
হ্যাঁ স্যার এই যে 15টা আছে
এইটা
এইটা স্যার কি করব স্যার বুঝতে
আচ্ছা, এটা
পারছি
আমরা
না।
পারমুটেশন করতে আমরা পড়িনি, আমরা পারমুটেশন এখন বললে সবাই বুঝতেও পারবে না। এইগুলো আপাতত বাদ দাও। অ্যাকচুয়ালি এই বইয়ে পারমুটেশন গ্রুপটা আগে দিয়েছে, কিন্তু আমরা জেনারেলি পারমুটেশন গ্রুপটা সাইক্লিক গ্রুপ মানে সাবগ্রুপ পড়িয়ে তবে সাইক্লিক গ্রুপ তবে পারমুটেশন গ্রুপে যাই। এখানে পারমুটেশন গ্রুপটা আগে দিয়েছে বলে এখানে কিছু অঙ্ক দিয়েছে, এগুলো পারমুটেশন গ্রুপ পড়ার পরে ডিসকাশন করলে সবাই বুঝতে পারবে, বুঝতে পেরেছো?
আচ্ছা
এখন
স্যার
আমি করছি না। এখানে এইটা সাবগ্রুপ নয় দেখাতে হবে, তার ওই আগে আমরা এটা দেখাচ্ছিলাম যে এই প্রোডাক্টটা এখানে কোনোটাতেই থাকবে না, এটা তো আর কিছুই না। 2 3 আর 1 2 প্রোডাক্ট করলে তুমি দেখবে যে সেটা কত আসবে, সেটা বেসিক্যালি বোধহয় 1 3 আসবে। সেই 1 3 তো আর এখানে নেই, তাহলে এটা সাবগ্রুপ হবে, ইউনিয়নটা সাবগ্রুপ হতে পারে না।
আচ্ছা স্যার
অ্যাকচুয়ালি 16টা আমি প্রুফ করতে বলেছিলাম যে ইউনিয়নটা তখনই সাবগ্রুপ হবে when one is contained in the other, এবং সেই আইডিয়াটা একই ভাবে যে ইফ ইউ মানে এখানে যদি এরকম থাকে তাহলে তুমি এখান থেকে এই এইচ আর কে তুমি এখান থেকে একটা এলিমেন্ট নাও যেটা এই ইন্টারসেকশনে নেই, আবার এখান থেকে একটা এলিমেন্ট নাও যেটা ইন্টারসেকশনে নেই, মানে এ ইউ আর টেকিং এইচ মাইনাস কে, বি ইউ আর টেকিং কে মাইনাস এইচ। এবার যেই তুমি এ বি করছো, এবার এ বি যদি ইফ এ বি বিলংস টু এইচ ইউনিয়ন কে, তাহলে ইউনিয়ন মিনস এ বি কোথাও তো একটা থাকবে, আইদার এইচ অর কে। But if you consider that AB belongs to H, now A belongs to H, so you can multiply by A inverse. So A inverse AB also belongs to H, but then it holds that B belongs to H, and that is a contradiction because B belongs to K minus H. Similar contradiction you will get that if AB belongs to K, then also you get that it is not possible. You will get that ultimately A belongs to K, and so you have that it cannot be the case that you get some element from H minus K and simultaneously you get some element in K minus H. So either H minus K is empty or K minus H is empty. So in other words, either K is subset of H or H is subset of that is. And that is not only true for 2, actually if you get any finite number of collection, then also that is true. আর কারো কিছু জিজ্ঞাসা থাকলে বলো। এখানে প্রোডাক্ট অফ সাবগ্রুপটা আমি অবশ্য বাদ দিয়েছি, এই অঙ্কগুলো তোমরা স্কিপ করতে পারো, কারণ তোমাদের এখন ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং কোর্স বলে আমি আর বেশি সিলেবাসে বেশি জিনিস ঢোকাতে চাইছি না বলে ওটা বাদ দিয়ে।
ওকে স্যার।
ঠিক আছে, ওকে, this much for today. So my question is that you forget about examination, you just take the pleasure of solving problems here. This is a pure reasoning type problem. এটা আচ্ছা আমি এটা বরং বন্ধ করে দিই, রেকর্ডিংটা ফালতু টেনে লাভ নেই। ফলে আমার তোমার কাছে রিকোয়েস্ট হচ্ছে তোমরা এটাকে আনন্দের সঙ্গে অঙ্কগুলো করো, একটা রিজনিং করা, অ্যানালিসিস করা, একটা লজিক থেকে একটা লজিক্যাল ডেভেলপমেন্ট করা, এটা মধ্যে আবার একটা অ্যাবস্ট্রাক্ট মানে ইয়ে আছে, লার্নিং আছে, সেটা শুধু এই অ্যালজেব্রা বলে নয়, এটা ভবিষ্যতে যে কোনো জিনিস করতেই সেটা সাহায্য করবে। সো তোমরা এটা ওই অঙ্কগুলো করে দেওয়া অঙ্কগুলো দেখো, দেখে এখান থেকে প্রবলেমগুলো সলভ করার চেষ্টা করো। যেটা বুঝতে পারবে না, you can always communicate with me in either in WhatsApp or in class. Okay?
ওকে স্যার।
Good night for today.
গুড নাইট স্যার।
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.
গুড নাইট স্যার, থ্যাংক ইউ।